ATS EVS 105 students, Dr. John Schragi here, and I welcome you to Module 7. Module 7 is our module that we labeled, Why Should I Care About Global Warming, or something like that. And in the first lecture in this module, you're going to be seeing about how, what is the future of climate change under different scenarios. How did we come up with those scenarios anyway? We're going to talk about the so-called IPAT relation that explains how factors like population and affluence and so on go into determining what the global the emissions of the greenhouse gases are going to be. Then we're going to move on into a second lecture that's all about I think we just called it Why Should I Care About Global Warming. It's in general about impacts of global warming on different human systems, on the natural environment, and so on. Kind of gives you a little sense as to how dire the situation is with some of those impacts. There's also another lecture that's part of our sequence of lectures that's about the scientific method, and in particular, this one is about how we test a hypothesis. How do we determine? Remember, we had that lecture that was about writing a pair of hypotheses, the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. How do we decide which one is right? We're going to learn about that in that particular lecture there, and about the different types of errors that can creep into there. In this module, 35 of your points come from discussion 7, and discussion 7 requires that you go online and find a news story about something being affected by global warming, like something similar to what you saw in the text, you'll be seeing in the textbook in these readings, that's about like how lizards are being affected by global warming. I want you to find some kind of news story like that, and then you're going to be providing a link to that story, and then there's a series of questions you answer about that, like what was their null hypothesis, what was their alternative hypothesis, to use the terminology we're using in this class, what would have happened, what were the risks of different kinds of errors, and so on. You'll see once you watch the lectures how to do all this. Okay, so this is kind of, here we are in Module 7, and we're really finding out, gosh, all this climate change stuff is pretty serious. We got ocean acidification and sea level rise, and we've got temperatures changing and concentrations of different gases in the atmosphere changing, affecting ecosystems, affecting national security, affecting the spread of diseases. Yeah, this is kind of a dark section in the course. I mean, we're going to find out that none of these outcomes are all that good. All right, and that, by the way, you're also going to find out that we're not going to be better off under global warming. I know that's often an objection. Well, maybe the warmer world is better. No, you'll find out why that's not the case either. All right. Well, I think that should be everything you need. I appreciate your patience with the delays on getting this module ready. My 3-year-old broke my glasses, so I've been stumbling around for a few days with these sunglasses while I wait for an appointment with my eye doctor. My brother is an eye doctor. He lives far away, though, and he always says that children, are like important for his business because they break so many glasses. Anyway, so when you're reading my handouts and you're looking at the review sheet and so on, picture me sitting there struggling, trying to find the mouse with sunglasses on for the last few days, because that's exactly how it's been playing out. And let me know if you have any questions. This has been Dr. John Schragi.